You're going to have to bear with me. I had about 40 minutes to try to put all this together, and there's a lot I want to make sure you guys get to see. This is stuff that I use for Hollow Knight when I am out and about and doing my thing. It has different kind of benefits than just relying on the one save state. The first thing that people tend to get pretty intimidated by is downpatching in PC. Now, for Switch, I don't even know where to begin. If you wanted to downpatch, you'd probably have to completely hack your Switch to do that. But in PC, it's much, much easier. So I wanted to start with that. Let me get us a browser up here. There's a browser. All right, to start with, you need to do, if you know how Steam works a bit, this is a bit easier. The Steam basically has depots of app files, and they don't get rid of app files after they are updated. You can actually access them from Steam. So to start with this, it's knowing where you have to point Steam in something called the Steam console. The Steam console you can think of like a command prompt for Steam. It's not as scary as it sounds. Easiest thing is to, let's just start off by going to speedrun.com. Right, speedrun.com. Open this dude up. And I don't know if that's really small. Hopefully you can see. You guys let me know. Can you see URLs decently? Okay, cool. SSD raises his hand. Yes, SSD. While you're typing out your answer, I'm going to go direct us to the Hollow Knight page. Now, of course, this is up here for me because we got tons of runs, first of all, and I also follow the crap out of Hollow Knight. But you can, of course, just type Hollow Knight into the search. Oh, duh. Games. Hollow Knight is one I follow, so we go to the games here. And since I followed, it's already up. All right, so now this is opening. Jerry's kicking your chair. Jerry, if you're going to kick his chair, you need to kick it completely over. Okay, we don't half-ass anything around here. And it's taken forever to load for reasons I just don't understand. Don't be confused, speedrun. Come on. There we go. All right, now we're here in the Hollow Knight section of speedrun.com. There's a bunch of stuff here, right? This is all really good for anybody interested in running. It includes a lot of guides on the glitches, on routes, and so on. So I advise you to look into this website if you're more interested in figuring out tactics and strategies and stuff like that. Okay, so now what we want to do is go to guides, right? And you'll see here by Sean PR, who is awesome, might I add. Really good guy. He has a very brief guide on downpatching the game using the Steam console, which is essentially what I'm going to show you how to do here. I click on this mainly because we need all this gobbledygook. All right. Each depot is separate per version. All right, so that's why we need to go here. Now, the one that I use is 1.2.2.1. You may have something else in mind. 106% works really well on 1.2.2.1. But you can see here, you can also get close to the latest. So Sean Pierre keeps this up to date, which is very cool of him. Now that we've got the code that we now need to open up the Steam console. To do that, there's a couple ways you can do this. I usually just do Windows R, and that opens up this guy, right, to run the command. Now you can just navigate through here. You can open this thing up and type CMD. That's another way to get there. Actually, no, don't do that. I'm completely off my rocker. You need the run command, all right? So Control R, just use that. And what you need to type in here, I already have, right? So Steam : //nav/console. Okay. Once I run that, it opens up Steam and puts me into console mode. Okay. Still seems foreign because we're not used to it, but it's not that scary. Now what I'm going to do is I am just going to highlight download, not the space, download all the way to the end of the numbers. I'm going to Control-C that to copy that. I'm then going to go back to my Steam console, and I'm going to Control-V. All right. Once that's in there, hit Enter. You'll see it saying download depot. It's going to be downloading the depot. Now, one of the things with console is it will not give you a progress update. All right, it's not going to let you know how far into the download that you are. It's also not going to tell you where it's downloading it to. Okay, so both of those can be a little scary. but you can get away with a couple of things here. Well, yeah, I'll show you both. The easiest way for me to know how I'm doing with this download is to simply go make sure I don't have any other games or anything updating. I go to Library, and then down here in Downloads, click on that, and you'll notice I have network usage right now. And it's being really slow for some reason. If this were 0, or I'm sorry, when this gets to 0, that means the download is complete. Okay? So you can just look at this. I would really like that to... It's probably because... I know why. It's because I'm streaming. So, this is a download, not an upload, so go figure. Thanks, AT&T. But this is one way to do it. Another way that you can do this, of course, is to use Task Manager. I'm just going to Windows X to open this guy up, go to Task Manager, and we got all this stuff going on here. Right here where it says Steam Client Bootstrapper, right, you'll notice that it's got network going on, right? That's another way to tell. So 2 ways to tell how things are going. Right? And let's see what chat's got going. Plus, you've done it during stream before. It's because you're trying to show how it works. Huh? What did I do, Colette? I did something. Oh, the speed. Yeah. Yeah. That's stupid speed. Usually it doesn't take tremendously long, but we do have to wait for this to complete its deal before we can move forward. So I'm going to let that sit there and percolate. I'm just going to move this down here for the moment. Okay, and I want to see if there's anything else I can do while that's downloading. No, not really. So how's everyone doing? Jerry's back with pizza. Well, Jerry, while you were gone, Ninja had claimed that you were kicking the back of his chair, and I, of course, told him we don't stand for underachievers around here and that he should kick your chair entirely over. I don't think he liked that very much. And then I proceeded to be grumpy about my download speeds while I am updating this. So right now we're down patching, and we'll just wait for that to kind of do its thing. Because I can't take you to the next place, which is navigating where all these folders are. Because that's another thing. That's an... Jerry denies having anything to do with the chair. Another thing that's a bit intimidating is navigating to where save files as well as app files are. I want to show you where those things are, and also show you what I do to make life easier for myself, since I have to down patch and up patch constantly while I'm streaming. Not to mention, while I'm practicing Hollow Knight running, I have to switch between save files quite a bit. It's also one of the reasons I can basically delete files with reckless abandon and not really care, because I have them all backed up. And I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay, now we got some speed. There we go, 4.4 megabytes. There we go. Let that keep cooking and percolating. The other things that I want to cover during this, other than the getting the down patch going, getting the save files going, I also want to show how to do Randomizer. Now I know Jerry's got Randomizer up and going, so that's cool. But I don't want anybody else to miss out on it because it's really fun. So I'll show you the easiest way that I have found to install the Randomizer, as well as the tracker that I use. So we'll see how this goes for us. Is there anything else? And while we're going, if you have any other questions, let me know. One thing I can show you, maybe, is where's the depot? Let me see here. No, we'll get to that later. Different depot. Partial different depot, not fully different, just partial. I want to have some water. Ooh, that's nice. So is this the most exciting stream ever? Action-packed? Ooh. 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 Yeah. It's absolutely so we can have action later. No, I've been thinking about this a while, because the questions do come up every once in a while. You know, like when Jerry was doing his thing, he's like, I don't want to freaking have to navigate through all this crap to change save states. And I'm like, no, man, it's not that bad. So I'm trying to put my money where my mouth is, so everyone can have a bit more fun with Hollow Knight. It's not scary, and it's not destructive to do any of this stuff the way that I do it. AT&T, please. I pay for 6, I want 6. I guess that's upload. I pay for 50, I want 50. Download. Well, he doesn't need a PC. Because... No, he does need a PC. You're right. For Rando. Ninja, you're going to have to get a PC. I'm sorry. This is going to have to happen. It's definitely going to have to be like a 1080 or better as well. You know? Because we need stream as well as game. It's of vital importance. Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. Come on. Come on. And unfortunately, I want myself forced to show you the whole process, so I actually got rid of my depot. So we can actually... I need the console to kick out the destination. I want you to see what the console looks like once it's complete. So I'm unfortunately having to take my time here. Well, I'm not. The internet is. Usually I'm getting 6 megabytes per second, but... Ooh! Ninja, you gonna go RTX? Get that ray tracing on? Just take out more student loans and say it's vital for your medical research. You're doing, you know, data mining and let's see, what else? You're doing a little machine learning. There we go. You're machine learning and protein folding. There you go. That'll justify it. And then you can write it off in taxes. Gotta fold those proteins, man. While we're here, let's take a tour of speedrun.com. Not sponsored, by the way, but... Guides is really nice. They still have Monsta's 106% up, and this is exactly what I used for my run. And it's... It's really cool. Like 5 hours ago, Monsta completed his 112 tutorial. But this is really, really good, a really, really good repository of institutional knowledge. The Discord is also a really good place for that. Resources is also pretty good. There are save files, and this would come into bear later if you're wanting to practice specific locations but don't want to have to make your own save files. I made my own because there's a few things in the 106 save files in this set that are different from the actual route. It doesn't make a difference, but this is really nice for all those kind of things. Here's one I know someone in this chat can appreciate. Here's a Watcher Knight's practice save. And here's one I know I can appreciate. Here's a White Palace practice save. And then Monsta being a being a bro and just giving this Godseeker with all binds. So thanks for that. They also have a link to Google Drive for pretty much every mod in Hollow Knight known. Okay, when it comes to installing mods, you can do this manually. Though what I want to show you makes it a lot more user friendly. But you can certainly go in here and manually get the specific mod file and manually install it. It's just, it's not as fun. It's a lot more time consuming to do it that way. Let's see how we're doing on Steam. Oh, it's still doing stuff. Keep working your magic, baby. And just to confirm, you know what I can do? Well, this is... No, it'll stop the download. Dang it. I am seeing that SSD Ninja is agreeing with Jerry, and therefore that's a valid excuse. And therefore we should expect, you know, a 2080 Ti RTX. Oh, an SLI. Let's do that too. Make it an SLI. I'd really like you to function better network usage. Which is interesting. I wonder why. Is it just straight up bandwidth in some way, shape, or form? Since I am uploading via stream, it's impacting my download speed to Twitch. Having performance anxiety, it needs to talk to Jerry's owl about that, because that owl certainly has no problems in that arena. Massive bugs can be coming right for his face, and he's like, no, I'm good to go. Okay. Is there anything I can skip forward to? I don't really want to yet. You know what I could do is, while this is downloading, I can show you how to find your save files and how to use your save files. So that's a thing we could do for the moment. Let me just open up this guy. Okay, now save files can be directed or cannot be directed around your PC. They basically go in one spot as far as Steam is concerned. Where you download your actual game data, that is different, and I will show you that as soon as we're done with this download. But what I can show you is where save files actually occur, so that you can access them, modify them, and back them up. So, and yeah, USB. It is my webcam and my mouse that are conflicting. There's just no way around it. I can't make it shut off if I'm streaming, and I got my mouse on. Even if I shut my webcam off, as I have in this circumstance, it's still, OBS is still trying to know that it's there. So I don't know why it does that, but it does it. Okay, so let me get this up here. All right, so here's your run-of-the-mill computer. My computerish, my files, this PC, whatever we're calling it these days. To navigate, to navigate, you need to go to the default location of user save data. And to that, it's almost always C. Then from here, we need to go to users, okay? And it's whatever your computer's named, all right? And it could be this computer, it could be whatever. My computer's named Havelock, right? So this is my Havelock file. So we're going there. Now, I already have this fixed, right? So you can see app data. This is where we need to go. What I want to show you is how you can view that, all right? Now, in your computer, there's a good chance you cannot find this file, and that's because it's by default a hidden file. To make sure you can see all hidden files, no matter what, and I do this across the board for all of my computer. In the File Explorer, we go up to View, and then we go over to Options right here. You need to go to Change Folder and Search Options. Click on that. Now, we need to go to View, and then down here, Advanced Settings, you scroll down until you can see Show Hidden Files, Folders, and Drives. Right? So under Files and Folders, Hidden Files and Folders, make sure that this is selected. And make sure your mouse dies right there. Click Apply, bam, click OK, and now app data will show up. Normally you have to do the percentage signs as in this is a hidden location. If you do it this way, you visually get it. So we go into app data. Next place we need to go is local low. For our good friend Low. Low changed his name, didn't he? Average Low is, he changed his name. God, what's Lowbro? Something like that. But here we are in local Low, Teen Cherry, Hollow Knight, and here we go. You're going to notice a whole bunch of stuff in here because most of this is superfluous. All you would see, really, would be this. Okay, I have a bunch of stuff in here because I have a lot of save states. I can't talk. I also store my live split stuff in here, so it's all in one convenient location, and I can make a shortcut to it. All this right here is your saves. Really, here's a good example. This is the pure save file. You see all this 1.4.2.4, that's just a version update, and you see these backs, these are just backups. So I could delete anything that's a back, and it would still save as long as I have this user and then number.dat. Right? So this is where your save files are. It should not vary from computer to computer. It should be the same location. Since and you see I've got a bunch of save files. This is the one from the resources. This is what a pure save file looks like, by the way. This is from the resources from speedrun.com. I made my own save states as well. That's why it says Dr. C on it. Here's my own save states and the places I wanted to have saves. And whenever I'm saying, okay, I need to load a file, basically it's like, oh, I want to do White Palace all the way over. I can go into here and copy this. Then we move up back into this area, right, which is just right after the Hollow Knight. And I can paste this in, and now I've got that save file in there. When I open up the game, we will find that there is a user1.dat expressed as a save file now. Okay, so I did that on purpose just to put that in there. The other thing that I do, though, is, and I'm not going to do this again, but once I navigate to this Hollow Knight part, I made a shortcut to this. And I just put it, I've got a folder on my desktop that I can just access all this really quickly. But I made a shortcut by going to Send To, and then Desktop, right, to create a shortcut. So I don't have to navigate through all this crap every time I want to get to a save file. Okay. And we'll come back into this a little bit because we'll have a couple things to do later in it, I think. But now, as we can see, as I was talking, our network usage went to 0 bytes. Okay, that means it's done. We can go back to console, and here, right, it tells me where it saved it. Okay, and what I want is this depot manifest, right? Or this this depot, just depot file. Now I need to basically just follow the trail here. You can actually just copy and paste this guy in, but I don't do that. I think it's just because I'm old school and lazy about it. Let me get another dude up here. Okay, so let's navigate to this. Local disk C. And we are going to program files 86, and we are going to Steam. We are going to Steam apps. Content. App 367520. This is 1.2.2.1, okay? In a raw format. This will not play as a game yet, but this lets me know where it actually happened. These things are not small files. It's about 8 gigabytes every time you need to transfer it around, so they are sizable. But now that we have this, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up. I'm just going to start up the game, and you'll see that I am on the current patch 1.4.2.4. Okay, so let's start this up so we can make sure. And let me make sure this is streaming to you. There we go. And on the bottom right, we'll see the version number. We can already tell it's the latest one because it's got the Void Heart background. But there it is. Oh, 1.4.3.2. That's right, there was an update. Okay, so that's where we are currently. I want to turn this to 1.2.2.1. So how do I do that? Let me get out of this first. To do that, I need to basically replace... there we go. That's what I want. I need to replace the current game file with this. I need to know where the current game file lives. Now, this varies from computer to computer, and it depends on what you want to do. To know where your game files are being saved, we can go to Steam, Settings. Okay, let me flash my email account up there. There you go. There's my email. I don't care. Downloads, right? Up here, you'll see something under downloads called Content Libraries. So when I click on this, usually you're just going to get this C Program Files x86 Steam. If that's it, then great. You know where it is. Otherwise, I mean, the good thing is my email actually is linked to Steam, so I'm not worried about it. You can also designate a place where you want your library folders to live. Now, you notice here, I've got 332 gigabytes of free space on this drive, on my C drive. And that's because it's an M.2 drive, right? So it's super fast, but it's not massive. I have a much larger SSD, not a Ninja, but an SSD that I use to save my large program files, including games. I needed to tell Steam where that lived. To do that, you just click on Add Library Folder and navigate to wherever your other drive would be, in this case D, right? And I already made like Steam library folder in there for myself. So you click on that, and however deep you need to go, you can select it, and it will automatically say, hey, Steam, whenever we're looking for games, look in these files. Okay? Oh, you okay now, Jerry? We got audio? Okay, I can hear him now. Good. So this is how you can tell where your actual app data is saved. Okay. I am now going to navigate to my app data, which is located on my D drive in Steam library. Let me get there really quick. I want a new window. Let me close that one. File, open new window in new process. I don't want them linked together, because what I'm going to do is copy these guys over into my actual app location. So let me, God, I'm so sorry about that. There's nothing I can do about it though. It did it again. Stop with your conflicts. It's gotten worse too. All right, so let me just get these things lined up a little bit. So mass volume D, which is I called my D mass volume. Here I made my folder Steam library, and now we go. This is true for anybody or any place you go though. If you're making a Steam library, it's going to automatically put things in here. I have a link to Destiny 2 through Steam when I played that. But Steam apps, common, Hollow Knight. So the important things to remember there is Steam apps, common, Hollow Knight. Okay. When I get there, I found my actual app data, which is this. All right. Now, right now it's on Godmaster mode. So what I do is I'm going to create a new folder, and this is backup. I call this Godmaster, right? That's good enough. You can actually name it the patch if you want. You can make it, 4.3.2 or whatever it was. I just call it Godmaster. I know what that means. I am now going to take these two things right here, Hollow Knight data and the Hollow Knight app with the little Hollow guy, dude, hero. There we go, hero icon. I'm going to copy these two things. I'm going to go to Godmaster, and I'm going to paste them in there because that's what we currently have in there. So you can see it's 8 gigabytes. It'll take some time. Yes, Ninja. Colette, are you passing notes? You want to read it to the rest of the... Oh, wait, never mind. I see it right there. You can share your notes. You could just ask the entire class that, Colette. It's not a problem at all. Right, now I actually have a backup of the entire game. If anything ever happens to this file right here, this Hollow Knight data and Hollow Knight, I've got Godmaster right here. Now, the important thing is you do not want to rename these. If you rename them, game will not work. Okay? So now we've got the Godmaster version of things in here. Now what I want is the 1.2.2.1 version of things. So the first thing I do is I create that backup before I do anything else. Okay, 1.2.2.1. I open that folder and I'm just going to... No, I want both of you. Both of you. Move these guys into here. And for that I just did a highlight, shift, left, drag. There's a bunch of ways you can cut and copy and paste and shit. Just whatever works for you. Okay, now we got these things in here. Okay. I now have basically 2 backups of what I need. Now, if I were to start the game right now, it is in Godmaster, right? We all saw that. I want it to be in 1.2.2.1, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy both of these boot. Oh, okay. I just muted myself. Seems with my microphone, sorry about that. These 2 beautiful guys, and I'm going to paste it into here. I don't feel like I got that because microphone threw me off. All right, I am now overriding Hollow Knight data and Hollow Knight, the app. It's going to ask me to replace the destination files, and I want it to do so. Kablamo. All right. Now, if all went well, I hit play, and this should be 1.2.2.1. But there's something I have to show you guys, because it might not work for you like this right off the bat. Excuse me. Okay, and as you can see, we are now at 1.2.2.1. So we have just downpatched, ladies and gentlemen, and that's how you do it. If I can get this thing out of my throat. That's what she said. Okay, so there we are. Downpatch. Now, you will run into a problem with Steam, because Steam likes to update things, like a lot, okay? There's a couple ways you can deal with that. One is a little bit more, not a great idea. You can actually go into an app manifest and rewrite the code to say never update. But that's going to take it so that no games will ever get updated. There's not much you can do about that. Now, I saw that, Colette, and I'm trying not to laugh. It's pretty freaking funny, though. Now, we need to contend with the fact that we don't want this updated. easiest, most user-friendly, and not app crashing way to do that is to go up, go and reset your mouse. Here we go, mouse reset. We go up to, I'm trying to remember here, I think it's Steam. Yeah, Steam settings, downloads, right? And you can select this thing and make it for a time that you are not going to be playing. Okay, because if you're or a time that your computer's off or something like that, your computer's asleep. If you do that, then Steam will have a narrow window to update, but there will be nothing on for it to update with, which means it will never update. That's the easiest and safest way to deal with this. You can also go into an app manifest log and basically set auto update state from 0 to 1, and that will make it look like every single program that you have in Steam is constantly up to date. Right? There's two ways to do that. Now, Steam doesn't go after updates a lot, and it only goes after the most recents. So right now, Hollow Knight's pretty stable. If they update, you're going to get that update again, but this is where our file system comes into place, right? No matter what, I've got 1.2.2.1. All I have to do is go into here, copy these two files, and paste them back in here, and I'm back at 1.2.2.1 after an update, if that's what I want. I can actually cycle between the two as much as I want. I could change to any update that I want. So it's not too bad. Now, what I do with this as well is I will also go into here and I will create a shortcut. So I can send a desktop and create a shortcut. I rename it just to let me know what that shortcut is. Not just Hollow Knight, but Hollow Knight apps. I don't want it trying to rewrite any other file structures. And now I've got a shortcut to my save files and to my apps, which means I can easily get in there and just change the app at will. As a matter of fact, I need to do that again right now because of the rando. So let me go back to Godmaster. I'm going to copy these guys. And I'm going to paste these back in here to revert back to the most up-to-date version. And we replace the files. Okay. And we are good there. All right, now, what would be next? Yeah. First of all, how are we doing out there? How goes my official first, almost said YouTube, Twitch lecture? I've done YouTube lectures before, but usually, you can edit and stuff, and that makes things much easier. Colette knows. All right, I went over save files. I went over downpatching. Now, the last thing that I wanted to go over is randomizer, so let's do that. Modding can be a bit heavy-handed, I think, in Hollow Knight. You got to do a lot of crazy stuff with patches and so on, but it's not too bad if you are able to get a specific cute little program called Hollow Knight Mod Installer. Okay, and the first thing you'll see is the GitHub thing. This is for people like Luke who know things about coding. So I mean, it has a lot of amazing stuff in there, but it's not all that helpful, I think, for your average bear. What is very unhelpful is this moddb.com website that has the mod installer. Okay, so here is the big page that comes up with the mod installer. What you're looking for is to install this thing, and it is not a heavy program at all. As a matter of fact, it's self-contained, so it doesn't link up to any registries or anything. To download it, we just go down here to Files, click on Mod Installer, and download now. Save the file. Okay, and if I can find it. Okay, let me minimize this. Okay, here's Mod Installer, which of course is our beautiful, majestic, lovely, brave, courageous, dashing Zote in the midst of a galaxy of some kind. Mod Installer. You double click on this guy, and the first thing. Oh, look. Good. What did I do here? That's great. Here's Mod Installer. I don't know why. I don't know why I decided to crash. Here it is. We're doing it live, folks. Come on. Checking for updates. Please wait. Try this again. See what happens. That's interesting. Huh. Hey Luke, any ideas on this? This has actually never happened to me before. It should just work. But it's not just working. Let's see. Let me look at this. Windows, of course. Of course. What are you? I don't know what that is. What is that? Oh, okay. I know why. I screwed something up here. I think I might know why. Try this again. And save the file. Okay. Ah, dang it, USB. Real-time troubleshooting. Interesting. Okay. Should not be doing that. Checking for updates. Please wait. Usually it would work just fine, so I don't know why it's doing that. Actually, it should be asking me for where... Huh. Oops. Where the file destination is. Let me try something. Looking at this. Where's one? Yeah. Let me restore this. Because it could just be something with my my system at the moment. Depot, Twitch. There we go. Twitch. Let me look in here. Right from here. Okay, yeah, see, it worked just fine that time. Okay, this is what it should look like for you once you get it downloaded. I already changed the file directory to point it to where my Hollow Knight files are, which you have to do. And it's essentially exactly as I showed you how to get the app files. It's not going to let me do this here, I guess, for whatever reason. I think it's because I already had that set up, and I didn't fully dismantle it. There's this AU thing that comes up. But normally when you open this up, it will start with all the downloads and everything. The thing that it will do by default when you first started is have the install path, right? So you have to navigate to the install path, which for by default most people would be local disk C, program 86. We go down to Steam, then Steam apps, common, and then Hollow Knight would be in here for you. It's not for me because I'm saving it at a different location, but this is likely the path for you. Okay, so you'd have to point it either at the Hollow Knight file, or you'd have to point it, here, or wherever you have it downloaded. All right, so I was still able to show you kind of what this looks like when it first comes up, but I already have that. Now that we have all this, right, we want to get some mods going on. In this case, we want to do the randomizer. A couple things that we need to have into place. The first thing is we have to have this modding API. It already kind of do it. It already did it, so we're good. Okay, the modding API is already installed. We're good there. Now, if I were to open the game right now, let's see what that looks like. It should actually say that the modding API is installed on this machine in the top left corner. So let's take a look. And there you go, right? So up here, it's giving you all that business, right? I already have these installed, which is why you're seeing them here. You would probably just see this, and I didn't ask C# to be part of it. So let me disable that because I don't need it. But these are basically the mods that I end up using. Debug Mod is the way that I'm able to practice with infinite, you know, soul and health and those kind of things. So there's a bunch of these things that you can play around with here, right? So Debug Mod, if I wanted to use like just to practice the spike skip or something, then I'd have this thing on and I'd have it running. I don't need this, so that can be disabled. Now, things that we don't have in here that I want to use, right? We're going to need two things here. One is the rando mod in and of itself. The other thing is the thing that will let us have an overlay for the rando mod. So first, let's start with the rando mod. It's way down here, all the way bottom. So you see there's a bunch of different programs here that you can use, or a bunch of mods. You know? So I go all the way down. It's Randomizer 2. That's what we're looking for, right? And it's already enabled. Let's say it wasn't in there. You just have to click the install button. So I can just install this really quick. Yay, it's uninstalled. All right, so I didn't have this yet. I didn't have this yet either, okay? This is what you'd see. It's just be a bunch of installs. I want Randomizer 2. Click install. Say yes. It'll download it and install it. Yay, thank you for that. Okay. Wonderful. By default, it's enabled. If you don't want it enabled, but you still want it, you know, around and able to be enabled, you know, you can click disable and it will shut it off. Okay. Not all of these have readmes. Some of them do. Sometimes it's good to check that out. And then the other thing we need is player data tracker. This is going to let us have that overlay. Right? But I'm not going to do that yet. We've got Randomizer 2 enabled. Let's test that out. I'm trying to do this kind of step by step, so we can see that this, in fact, is working. It's not going to work because this is live, right? That's how this is going to go. Latest patch, Randomizer is on. Mod Common is part of this whole, you know, package, I believe. Mod Common is associated with the Randomizer mod. We've got the modding API, which is just the way that mods can interface with the programming of Hollow Knight. And then Debug Mod is on just because it's on. I could shut it off, but it doesn't much matter. So I'm going to go in here, right, and let's just, actually, let's see. I think that got overwritten because I wanted it to get overwritten. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. Here we go. So you can see here, this is where my actual, my own shortcuts live. I just have a folder called Twitch with all my Twitch crap, and I got my Hollow Knight stuff in my Twitch. Let's go to my saves. Go down here, and notice I don't have a user 1. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all the user 1s, because if you don't, for whatever reason, controllers tend to wig out on some of the menus, like it'll automatically make it jump up. You've seen this happen to me a couple times in the stream. You delete all this, that seems to fix it. Right, let me load a thing. What should I load? Let's go to Elder Hue. Pre-Elder Hue. Right, so I'm gonna copy this, go in here, and I'm going to paste this. Okay, so now we have a user 1 dat in there. Oh, yeah, that wouldn't work because I don't have the right extension for it. Because it's not I'm not in the latest patch on that. So never mind on that. Though technically I think it should work. We'll just start a new file so we can see this. All right, there we are. We are now in rando mode. So yeah, from here you can just set up anything you want. The required skips in terms of presets and all that. Look, acid skips, shade skips. Let's do all of them. Spike tunnels, yeah. And then you hit start game and then it begins. All right, so we now have the rando installed. Okay. I'm not gonna back out of this and we're gonna do the overlay. And again, just to recap briefly on this, because I think it's worth recapping. We go to moddb.com to get the mod installer. Okay, and you've got the right here to get the mod installer, and we've got the URL up here. Okay, to get that mod installer. All right. Where's my single page one? Here we go. This one's a bit better. And also, you know, you click on this, this is the first page that you'll see. Just go ahead and install it, download it, execute it. You can direct it to wherever your Hollow Knight save file is. You can have this thing put wherever you want in terms of accessing it. You just got to make sure that you turn on the right switches, which again, for this, thus far are, you don't need the debug mod, actually, but you do need the modding API, and you can then install and enable Randomizer 2. But that's not as fun as it can get with the rando. We can actually have the overlay, which is an extension of something called the player data tracker, okay? To do that, we, of course, need to install the player data tracker. So let's do that. Okay, we are installed. Okay, it's by default enabled. Now, the next thing we need to do is get to the overlay. The overlay, I can get there. The overlay is called, I'm doing this way so it's right in the center, you can see it. Hollow Knight Randomizer Tracker. Having to work around things here. Randomizer, it's a randomizer. Okay, this comes up, and the first thing you see is this GitHub with IamWizza, who created it. Go ahead and click on that. And now we are in GitHub. This stuff is of not much use to us here. More interesting, I think, for Luke, I would say. And it's going to basically give you the instructions on how to do it. But I'm just going to go ahead and walk you through it right here. The OBS stuff is pretty easy. I'll show you how to do that too. But you really just need to open up a browser. I've had problems with Firefox allowing this to work. So I use the other browser on my computer, which unfortunately is Edge. But here it is. Okay. You enter in the screen size that you're going to be using to stream your game. And in this case, the resolution I have is 1920 by 1080. I click done on that, and we get this big green box. Okay. I haven't started it yet. I haven't started the system yet, so it should not start in the system quite yet. I don't have it also set up in OBS. We need to do that. Okay, so let's do that. This is always fun to do. Woo! Okay. Here's my tutorial scene. I need to get this thing overlaid into my game. Right. To do that, I need to add a URL. Now, what URL do you say? Get config URL, and this is it right here. Let's copy all that. Okay, and we go back to OBS, and our mouse freezes, and we turn it back on, and we're gonna add URL browser. Okay, I already have a tracker thing set up, so I'll just call this tut racker. It's a tut racker. Okay. You enter the URL here. Okay, that's the important part. You're going to need to specify the size that you're using here, 1920 by 1080, or whatever resolution you're using. FPS, actually, this should be turned down to 6, I believe. Don't worry about custom CSS. You need to click on shutdown source when not visible and refresh browser when scene becomes active. Okay. All of this, by the way, I'm going to just go ahead and hit OK on that and move this guy out of the way for the moment. All of this information is available here. It's FPS 5, actually. I screwed that up. But so this is where you get those values. All right. Let me get back to this. Done. And I'm going to open up OBS again. I need to fix this tracker. 5. That really quick. Okay, now that I got this selected, I'm going to have to do some adjustments off screen here a little bit, because I'm going to bring the game up and we're going to see if this worked. So let me go ahead and do that. Team Hollow Knight. Okay. Go. Okay. And it's on. Let me get rid of this little dude. Yes. There you go. All right. Now, let me, I'm going to start up a game. I'm going to go into my Godmaster file just so you can see all the stuff light up. We're going to go to my God Home file, and bam. All my stuff instantaneously basically appears. Okay. I've got this in windowed mode, so it's wonky here at the bottom, because I'm usually playing on the big display that I have just below the monitor you're looking at right now. But you can basically see, here's all this stuff. What I could do, actually, let me do a thing here. No, not that. Video. Come on. Come on. Don't be a jerk. Let's go to this. Why? Why are you not going to full screen? It's a very interesting game. Whoa, no, no, no. I've experienced this before. I don't know why it will not allow. I know why. I know why. This is one of those dumb things. They have a mods menu in here too, and I've never seen anybody use that for anything. And Colette, I agree. You could use this for other applications. It doesn't need to be for a rando, for sure. It's just basically a player tracker, you know. So anything you get, it's gonna maintain. Weird. Wonder why I cannot choose full screen. That is odd. Huh. I don't know. I would screw around with that more and fix it, but it won't let me. So, nonetheless, you do see the tracker on the screen, and you did see it actually load up with all my stuff. Yeah, I don't know. That is odd. But then again, I mean, I loaded it from. This is absolutely my oldest save. I mean, this is mucho oldo. So I don't know if that has any bearing on it. Otherwise, it should be pretty accurate. But anyway, there we go. Oh, it's being all framey too. Look at that. Weird. All right, so that's that on that. Hopefully that was helpful to somebody out there, and hopefully you guys will have a bit of a reference you can go to, other than trying to just spelunk around Google. It can be confusing. It actually took me a good chunk of time to figure all this stuff out, with just relying on Google and the resources that are available. But here we are, and here we'll be. And it was. I want to see something. Did I? I didn't. Okay, yeah. I used Edge. Oh, that makes sense. While I'm here, any other questions? Any other things you'd like to see work? You know, like, you know what? It might be nice. I'm gonna kind of back out of this entire process too. I'm gonna back entirely out, if I can make it work. Okay, there we go. I am now going to revert to 1.2.2.1. Yeah, Colette, I will probably just port over to my YouTube channel, but I'll also highlight it in Twitch. So I'm now gonna revert I'm gonna remove all of this stuff. Let's cover how to get rid of all of this stuff. Okay? And I'm gonna try something I haven't tried before. Usually it's just easier for me to do a clean cut and paste back to default. But I've got this guy, right? And I want to disable that, I want to disable that, I want to disable that, and that. I want to disable all of this, okay? Let's see what happens now that I disabled all of that and closed out. Well, one thing happened, and that is my mouse failed. There we go. You can include that as options in the rando. Like you can actually change it in this area, right? When you get this up, there's a preview mode, right, in an edit mode when it's all loaded up. But since I turned it off, it's not going to show up here. And one of the things is this thing here, that basically you can put things you don't want people to see into it. Otherwise, by default, you're going to have difficulty level and seed number up here. I actually haven't figured out how to turn that back on once it's off, but it is there. I don't know if this changes anything. No. Toggle snap, yeah, whatever. And it says it's not connected because I have it turned off. No, that's a good question. Maybe we could try that. Okay, so right now you can see it. Where'd my OBS go? Where's OBS? Okay. I need to back up here. All right, so just turning it off wasn't enough. The modding API is still installed. It's still trying to do some assembly C# crap. I don't know what that's about. And the mod comment is still installed. Let's say, you know, if I'm doing a speedrun of this, I don't want any of this stuff there. I mean, that to me, someone's gonna look at that and go, hacks, cheats, you know, clipping and so on. You know, person who's splicing, right? So I want to get rid of all that. The easiest way for me to do that is I first, of course, close out. I want to navigate back to my shortcut, or you could go the long way and just get to where your app data is here, right? Get to my shortcut here, and I go to this 1.2.2.1, which is what I'm going to speedrun off of. Highlight it, copy it, go back in here, and I paste it. Okay. It's going to ask if I want to replace things. The answer is always yes. Okay, that's complete. Now, when I start this up, it should be a clean 1.2.2.1. So let's see if that is the case. And it is. Notice on the top left here, we have none of that program dialog. It is 1.2.2.1. And now, right, I'm going to go to start game. I should have nothing except for my last file. This arrow's out because, of course, it's patch 1.4x, right? So it doesn't know what the hell's going on. It's like, how should this be even possible? That's what the program's saying. But now that I'm here, I want to try to load a practice file. Okay, so I'm going to open this guy back up. Going to get back to my save data, right? So Hollow Knight saves. This is where my saves are. Dr. C. Let's see. Let's say I want to practice White Palace. So I'm going to copy that. We're going to go, oops, up in here. I'm going to paste that in. Okay, so it is pasted. We all see that. Start game, and there it is. Like magic, it appears. That basically means I can back up any save file that I want. I can destroy copies at will because I have backups, and very easily I can make sure, you know, I'm in a very specific spot that I want to practice. Which becomes very handy, for example, if you want to do things like practice the Watcher Knight battle without using Godmaster. Godmaster is great for practicing, but the drawback is you're not going to exactly be in the same circumstance you would be while speedrunning. You may not have the same number of charms, health, magic, and all that. So, you know, if you're wanting a little bit more model fidelity, then using save files can definitely help that. So let me see here. Okay, now that we got that accomplished, I'm not entirely sure how to get that seed information and all that back. I would like to do that, and I'll probably try to figure that out. But that's probably going to be a process of me, you know, dorking around. Not tonight, I think. Look, I'm just muscle memory is just like game on, must play, game on, must play. But there we are, and I can't think of anything else that I would have for you about just some of the process that you can use behind the scenes just to get yourself up and running with a few things. But of course, if you have any questions, you know where I am. And I'm always around if you run into any difficulties that I can help with. I'm happy to give it my best shot. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this little tutorial stream. Also, my very first attempt at any kind of live version of a tutorial. So I hope it went well. I feel like I was talking too fast, but what the hell's new, right? The thing about me is I talk fast. I need to work on that. Yeah. And with that, I guess, stream done? Question mark?